Have you ever wondered if royalty equates to happiness? Does wearing a crown guarantee a life filled with joy? Prepare to dive into an enchanting tale that might just change your perspective. Once upon a time, there stood a majestic statue in the heart of a bustling city. This was no ordinary statue, for it was the statue of the Happy Prince, clad in fine gold leaf, with sapphires for eyes and a ruby encased on his sword hilt. The Happy Prince towered over the city, magnificent and awe-inspiring. The Happy Prince was not always a statue. In life he was a royal prince, ensconced within the luxurious confines of his palace, oblivious to the world's pain and suffering. His life was a continuous waltz of merriment and joy, earning him the title of the Happy Prince. But death has a way of opening eyes. As a statue, the prince could see the hardships his people faced every day. He saw the destitution, the pain, the suffering that lay just beyond his palace walls. His heart, made of lead, felt heavy with sorrow. One day, a little swallow, seeking shelter for the night, found its way to the statue. The prince, now aware of his people's plight, pleaded with the swallow to help him. He asked the bird to take his gold leaf, his sapphire eyes, his ruby sword, and distribute them among his people. The swallow, moved by the prince's compassion, agreed. Over the next few days, the bird diligently carried out the prince's wishes. He peeled off the gold, plucked out the sapphires, and removed the ruby, delivering them to the city's poor. But winter was fast approaching, and the swallow knew he should fly to warmer climes. Yet he chose to stay, for he had grown fond of the prince. Each day the bird grew weaker, and eventually, with a final loving glance at the now dull and grey prince, the swallow fell and breathed his last. Upon seeing this, the leaden heart of the Happy Prince broke. The next day, the townsfolk found the statue and the bird lifeless. Seeing the statue's dilapidated state, they decided to melt it down. But the furnace failed to melt the prince's leaden heart, which, along with the swallow, the city's overseers discarded as useless. But in the grand scheme of the universe, nothing is ever truly useless. For in heaven, God asked one of his angels to bring him the two most precious things in the world, and the angel, presenting the leaden heart and the dead bird, said, "Here they are." This poignant tale of the Happy Prince teaches us that true happiness doesn't lie in oblivious joy, but in the act of giving, in empathy, and in understanding the pain of others. The prince, once known for his merriment, found his real joy in helping his people, even though it came at the cost of his own existence. So, remember, wearing a crown doesn't guarantee happiness. Sometimes it's the ability to feel the pain of others and lend a helping hand that brings true joy. After all, in the end, it was the leaden heart and the dedicated bird, symbols of love and sacrifice, that were deemed the world's most precious things.